Hello and welcome to this nighttime review. It's dark. Well, I have the light on, but it's dark outside. So we have a review of a product that I cannot figure out. It's called Quality House Blended Whiskey with Natural Flavors. That part is not confusing. Quality House, we get their whiskey in Louisiana. We get the Quality House Heaven Hill Quality House Kentucky blended whiskey, all right, with the old, look like an old store placard, general store placard. That's common. Heaven Hill Quality House Kentucky blended whiskey. Well, I was on a road trip in Texarkana, Texas, and then Arkansas, and then Texas, then Arkansas, and so forth. But all the liquor stores on the Arkansas side. And this was one on the Arkansas side of United States Highway 61, close to the interstate. Easy to find. I'll tell you about it if you want to find it. So they had this, and it was like $5.99, and I said, oh, this is a new one. It's got a crown, because, you know, Kentucky has a king, as we all know. I'm being facetious. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Our signet of quality. Okay. So their quality is signified by a crown. Blended whiskey with natural flavors, like I said earlier, common. Bottled by Quality Control Distilling Company, Bardstown, Kentucky. But it's Heaven Hill. Contains caramel color. Oh, it does? That's not natural? Here's the thing that's got me confused, perplexed. It's 70 proof. I saw years ago there was Calvert Extra, an American blended whiskey from Sazerac, also 70 proof. I was in Meridian, Mississippi, and I was going to buy it. And I saw 70 proof. I went, put it right back on the shelf. I didn't notice that when I bought this. I wouldn't have bought it. I got home and I was going through these and I was like, 70 proof, what? And then I looked on the Tax and Trade Bureau website this morning for the United States government, and their regulation for whiskey, any type of whiskey, blended, straight, malt whiskey, light whiskey, bottle and bond, whatever, you know, it goes on and on. There's so many categories. They're all underneath that umbrella, but the umbrella part, it says, has to have the aroma and flavor generally attributed to whiskey. Okay, and it has to be at least 80 proof, 40% alcohol. It says it very clearly, so they don't keep repeating that on the different subcategories, except that they'll have proof requirements for different types, like bottle and bond has a proof requirement. Okay, so blended whiskey, I looked at category, doesn't say anything about the proof. So that means it's got to fall under the umbrella, which is 80 proof. So I don't know how they're getting away with selling a 70 proof blended whiskey, but I got it now. Couldn't find any video reviews for it. Barely found anything for it. Although it is listed on the Heaven Hill website under product specification. They don't have a section for it. No. It does show the 70 proof, so I was tempted to call them and ask them why, but then I asked somebody a question one time at that kind of thing, and they was saying, do I work for an insurance company? I said, well, I was at a restaurant taking a photo of the food, and the guy was like, you with the insurance company? Oh, of the restaurant, because I wanted to show it on Facebook. He's like, he was real hostile, the owner. Are you with the insurance company? I said, what are you talking about? I was just trying to take a picture so I could put that on. So I don't do that kind of stuff anymore. But anyway, so I'm not going to call them. I don't know. If you, the viewer, knows how this could be 70 proof and the requirement says 80, let me know. I'd appreciate it. Now I have some other ones from Heaven Hill. This is another strange one I bought in Houston, Texas, Royal. It's strange because it says Kentucky bourbon whiskey, but with natural flavors. But then if you look at the regulations for bourbon whiskey, it's not allowed to have flavoring added. Unless it's blended bourbon, which that does not indicate. When I was in Arkansas at that same store, let me get this fixed up a little bit. When I was at that same store, they had this. This was like $11.99, but so I had to buy it because I'd never seen it in my life except on the internet. I'm not saying it's anything special, but it's special for me because I can't find it. It's Heaven Hill Old Style Bourbon, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 80 proof. The gold label, as people call it, Heaven Hill Gold. $11.99. So I bought 3 Heaven Hills in 2022. Aged 36 months, 3 years. That's not the interesting part. Well, it is. But it's a liter. $11.99 for a liter. So that's going to be a great one. All right, let's see about this one. I'm not expecting much. Not expecting too much. But, I mean, for $5.99, I figured, what the heck. It's like a no risk option. Well, it's got caramel color added, and it appears to. It's caramel. Looks like caramel. How would it look without the coloring added? It would be nearly clear, I bet you. Now, according to the government, blended whiskey has to be at least 20% straight whiskey. There's no blend ratio statement here, so I don't know what the ratio is. According to the government, it has to be at least 4 years old if there's no age statement. There is no age statement, so that means the straight whiskeys in here are at least 4 years old. It gets crazier. I was trying to find like trademark information, like when was this introduced, couldn't find it. Then I realized, it's not even trademarked. There's no indication that this is a registered trademark of the U.S. in the U.S. Patent Office. Look at that. There's no R, no TM, no statement below saying registered trademark U.S. Patent Office. I guess they figure, who in the world's going to try to copy that? And they're probably right. But it's bizarre. Okay. Bizarre. But let's see if it's any good. My suspicion is it won't be too great, but it's not going to be terrible. Yeah, it smells like oak barrels. That's a good sign. Corn, yeah. Just whole kernel corn. Corn grits, whatever type of corn products. It does have the aroma, well, I don't know about the flavor, but the aroma generally attributed to whiskey. Let's go to taste. Cheers. Yeah, alcohol eggs are evenly spaced. I would write a written review, but it's not listed anywhere. Sugar. So, I mean, whiskey to me tastes like sugar water in general, but this tastes like sugar water in particular. It's just sugar. Probably from the corn. Corn is used as a sweetener oftentimes. Come on. But I'm not just going to rip on it trying to get cheap laughs or anything like that, like, let me review this. No, I mean, it's there is oak barrel, definitely, and charred oak, too. So they're probably using straight bourbon in the blend. Maybe it's 25% straight bourbon, 75% grain spirits, which is made from corn, typically. Doesn't have to be. Age 4 years, so yeah, it's given a little character. 70 proof, so yeah, it's pretty light in its presentation. I don't think this is legitimate whiskey. I mean, I bought it in a store, but what I mean is I don't think it's following the regs. Somebody could call them to take them to task on that. I don't know how strict whiskey is regulated in the United States for like these underlying, these underling brands, these under the radar brands like Calvert Extra. You hear a lot of people talking about Calvert Extra. I don't think so. This thing here, it's sort of like with beer. There's regulations that I know about, but when it comes to these outlier products, it doesn't seem to be enforced. And because there's no consumer that is going to drink it that's going to care. I think that's the approach they're taking. No one's going to care, and if they don't care and it's not reported, it's not going to be enforced, and the government has got other things to do. I certainly don't care. I'm not going to take the time to report it. I mean, I was aggravated to get the 70 proof. Okay, I don't think it's going to do too well in taste challenges against even these other low shelf products. But I could be surprised, but I don't think I will because this 70 proof is going to show up. Okay, last conversation point. Well, it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be because it's a pretty predominant wood character from the aroma into the taste. A lot of Heaven Hill blended whiskeys have a strange honeydew melon flavor, which is definitely off-putting. This does not have that, thankfully. It's sort of bland. I mean, the Royal bourbon is bland. Not bad. This doesn't taste really that different from Royal, but that's 80 proof. And that is bourbon. This is not. Although it probably uses bourbon in it, almost assuredly. Body's medium, but that's the case with most whiskeys, whether they top shelf, middle, or low. Finishes like medium. That's the same thing there. Most of them, top, middle, or low. I mean, it's okay. I can't think of any, or I'm not noticing any off-putting, no bad bite, no nasty flavor, no nasty aroma. So yeah, I mean, if you want something just for, like putting in coffee in the morning or afternoon, putting in some tomato juice or, I don't know, vanilla ice cream, or making some inexpensive low-level cocktails, like what Hawaiian Punch or Delaware Punch. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean it's $5.99. So I wouldn't buy it though. In my case, where I live, even if they sold it here, if I was doing those utilities that I just talked about, I would get the Canadian blended whiskey from Walmart. That's $5.96. I'd save 3 cents. But then I would buy the jug, the handle bottle of Caliber Canadian whiskey, which is $10.96. That's making it even cheaper, and it's actually pretty good. It can compete quite well with much higher grade positioned Canadian whiskey. So there you go on that. But anyway, so it is what it is. I bought it. I am attracted to these aberrations for whatever perverse reason. So that's it. So Laissez Les Bon Temps Relais. I'll score it. Just started picking up that honeydew melon. I mean, I'll give it a B. 83 out of 100. It's good, but that's about all you can say. It's good. I'm sorry for the long video, but it's so much complex, like, questions about the product. You know what I'm saying? So many detailed questions that I didn't want to rush the video. So, I mean, you know, it's not like people, I gotta watch it anyway. So, thanks for watching, and I'm going to end this by saying that I would say go to Heaven Hill and tour their distillery, but they don't really give distillery tours to my knowledge. They just give this Heaven Hill experience, kind of like an interactive museum, which I'm sure it'd be nice, but I'd rather go see the distillery operations myself. But anyway, go see them making this. Y'all take care now.